G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the east side of the map, playing as the Chinese in the colour orange, it's the little octopus. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the Mongols in the colour blue. We've got David Kim, aka Puppy Paw. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ranked ladder. The ranked seasons have begun, and players are now turning towards it and looking to battle it out, climbing towards that Conqueror ranking. Both of these guys, I'm sure they're probably already there. You can see up towards the north that we've already got one Conqueror. Let's take a look down towards the south. We got ourselves just a gong. I think in the last game we saw a bell. This game we got a gong. A little bit different for David Kim, aka Puppy Paw. So let's take a look and see exactly how it's going to go for him. And look at this already, big brain stuff. We've got a nice gold as well as the the wood line right on top of the town center. Obviously, all the villagers are going to be safely under here. The only issue is going to be that when it comes to the Uvu, that unfortunately for David Kim, it's going to be a little bit exposed. And we begin to see a villager walking back with some meat. But I suspect, and indeed I'm correct, that this villager is going to be turning back around and looking to place down a barracks. This is something that I suspected that we would see with this patch, because the Mongols, I don't know if you guys know this, but unfortunately they're falling out of favor very, very quickly. And this is something that was talked about recently by Beastie in a video where he talked about the Mongols being probably going to be one of the worst civs shortly. Just simply because as naturally the Mongols need to do damage to be ahead. Everybody else gets mechanisms to be ahead, whereas the Mongols, they have to force damage on the enemy to get ahead. And as a result, it means they have to go for these types of early shenanigans. And so it just seems very natural for him, or for Puppy Paw to do that here. I'm looking forward to seeing how the opening goes, though, because he's still yet to move a village out, or villager out, rather. Only gone with a single Khan. We can take a look over on the other side of the map, though. Leenock. He's going to be going with a double scout opening. So he's got 5 sheep behind the first scout, 3 sheep behind the second one. Khan in the enemy base as well. Going to be scouting out this position. Sees the Imperial official. Well, right on board with Leenock for a moment, because he's got 4 villagers here on wood already. This is quite a lot of... His second Imperial official out. Leenock, did you not read the patch notes? Leenock obviously not reading the patch notes, or just not caring about the patch notes, as he picks himself up a little bit of gold in the early stages here with the double Imperial official. Leenock going to be coming back, spots the Uver, spots the barracks, and immediately knows, okay, we've got early game shenanigans on the card. Now, obviously, when it comes to Puppy Paw, he's very forward with this Uver, and he wants to be careful not to lose any of those buildings. So as a result, it means that he goes for that. Now we've got ourselves Leenock going for an early barracks. So we've got ourselves a Dark Age battle off right now as the outpost begins to come down. Get your chrono boosts out. Get your supervisions out. Leenock is going to be going to town. Oh my lord, there we go. And now I wouldn't be surprised if he just rallies directly over to this position. I mean, realistically, he can just push forward with all of these spears, but you can see he's actually running out of population space here. He's going to need more. Yeah, there we go. He's dropping it off now. You can see villagers actually going to get pulled from this. They're going to be sieging it down. So Spearman going to be tangling with the enemy Spearman. He's actually got pretty decent numbers here. The main issue that he's going to have is just, as I mentioned, no wood here. And now going to be running out of population space. Outpost going to get cancelled. Leenock going to be forcing away Puppy Paw from this position. And with that, Spearman probably going to be turning around. Hopefully, he wants to avoid losing any. You can see that these spears are going to be going down. He takes out a 1-for-1 trade. Not terrible. Villager going to get caught in the mix as well. He begins turning his attention towards it. Scout got to be careful. There's a lot of damage that comes out there, but we're still yet to see that house come down. So Leenock sitting here with quite a bit of idle town center time. So the consequence of pulling those villagers, which are the wood villagers, are that you don't have any wood. Who would have guessed it? House coming down, though, for Leenock. He's sitting idle for quite some time. We'll check in with Puppy Paw and see how he's doing. He's got more than enough gold for that feudal age. Going to be working on food now. And he continues looking for early aggression. And I think this is such a smart move by Leenock in this matchup to go for these early spears. One of the reasons why is because typically what's the main follow-up going to be from the Holy Roman, or from the Holy Roman player, from the Mongol player here? So the big thing is outpost into fast castle. That's going to be your typical opening. And what do they go once they get into that fast castle? Well, you can expect that they're going to be looking to get their monastery out or their prayer tent, and you can expect that for the most part they're going to look to go into lances. Now, congratulations, you've already got a barracks, you've already got spearmen. So now you've got an answer to those lances nice and early. So it means that you can force them to go into men-at-arms. And with that, then it makes it a little bit easier for you because then you can go horsemen. So it's a very interesting opening from Leenock, and I'm curious whether he's going to stay age 2 and go heavy horseman, or whether he goes into age 3 and maybe looks to go into lancers himself and play that sort of lancer spearman composition. Continuing to move back, though, we do see that now we've got Puppy Paw entering up to that castle age, or rather that feudal age. It's going to be the deer stones that are going down. Good little spot he's got here in the front of the base. Also going to be reaching up towards the deer in the event that he wants to go grab that. Still pushing forward with the spearman. Villager remaining up for the most part. I don't know where that other villager went. It may have gone down when I wasn't paying attention. I suspect it must have, because I don't think he's got any way to heal this one up. And I do know that the other one did take damage. We do see more spearmen coming down. Leenock now going to be going up. Imperial Academy going to be dropping down for him. Just 2 villagers on it, though. Obviously, China builds their landmarks a little bit faster, so you can get away with 2 villagers here, but Leenock going to continue pushing out those spearmen. Now, it can be really tough in this early game position to actually justify a village. Just simply because even though they're really, really valuable, you want to try and get them out as early as possible. 125 wood, it's very, very steep. And if you wait for that 125 wood, you're going to be delaying those spearmen. And as a result, it might mean that an outpost gets up. And that's the worst case scenario. You want to stop any outpost from coming up. So let's talk about damage. What damage was done to Leenock here? Well, he got a little bit of idle time. He was forced to make a barracks, and he was forced to make spearmen. Well, we talked about the barracks. We talked about the spearmen. The only real thing that was gained was idle time. And to me, it looked like it probably wouldn't have been more than 20 seconds. Leenock was pretty on the ball when it came to dropping down that house. So realistically, Puppy Paw maybe got a villager out of it. But he didn't establish himself. He didn't get himself a beachhead. He didn't get himself a force off the wood line and then force his enemy to come over here and drop down another lumber camp or go find wood line somewhere else on the other side of the map. He didn't do anything like that. There was no crazy shenanigans. And as a result, I feel like at this point, Puppy Paw was behind. He needed to do more damage than what he's done. And he hasn't done it. Leenock now gets the hardened upgrade. Actually, no, that's Puppy Paw, rather, getting the hardened upgrade. Leenock going to be doing the same thing. We can see both players going into that. Gur going to be coming down here in the middle. Yam Network still going to be applied to these villagers. I suspect the scout might be coming back to usher these deer into a new position. But Spearman now moving out for Leenock. Also going to be jumping inside the outpost there for Puppy Paw. Villager managing to make it inside. Spearman moving forward. He's just going to ignore it. And this is a smart move. A lot of people in this position here wouldn't be thinking about a counterattack. China, especially, would be thinking, all right, I'm going to stay in my base. I'm going to do my thing. But one of the big things is that if you're able to do a counterattack, launch an initiative over on the enemy side, there's a good chance that you're going to force a response, and that's exactly what Leenock has already done. I mean, I say this like this was a response. I don't think it was. I think this was the intention all along. We do see Mangadai coming out for Puppy Paw. He's got 2 Mangadai just chilling out at the moment on his archery range. Expensive units, 160. No, I think I was talking about that last game because the Fire Lancer also costs 160 resources to make. And I couldn't think of anything. Khan gotta be careful! Khan gotta be careful! Oh my lord, going down to 4 health right there. Very, very close to death. I think it was like 3 shots and that thing almost got taken out. 28 damage a pop. How much health has that got? 115. So it would have been 4. It took 4 shots. Pretty wild. Barbican now coming up for Leenock. He's looking good at this point. Barbican gonna provide him a little bit of coverage on this wood line. Other than that, not really a lot. The outpost did actually get up for his enemy, but continuing to push forward, those Mangadai are going to be able to kite these units around. But, you know, it's one of those things where you can't fall asleep. You fall asleep, you're going to lose these units so damn quickly. Those Spearmen, we saw how damn quick they go. But Leenock now on the backside, working towards those economic upgrades. We can see he's going into the double Brawn Axe. Now, one of the things to note here is that you can see with the Imperial Academy that is buffing up this lumber camp. And what does that mean? That means that for every upgrade that you get as the Chinese, that you're going to be getting yourself a bit of tax, a little bit of a rebate, if you will. So you got to spend the money up front, but you get it back. And with the Imperial Academy, it's going to be double. So here you're going to see this jump up by 64. So that's going to go up to more than 90. Look at that. Boom. Immediately picks it up. He's got himself plenty of gold in the bank there from that. So gets a nice little rebate on that and is able to return it and then reinvest it. And we can actually see him going for forestry here. And it's quite interesting because you're actually with forestry, you're getting a significant refund because you're getting that, you're getting 64 gold for researching forestry. So you're actually only paying 21 resources for it. So super cool to get that upgrade. But now that scout going to be coming out, Mangadai going to be in tow. Yam Network yet to be applied to it. You can see he's just buffing it up with the Khan instead. Age up coming through. It's going to be the step out that's getting dropped down on this gold vein. So everything's looking pretty stock standard at this point. And we do see the stable coming up. Something that we did talk about, the fact that, you know, we've already got plenty of spearmen that have come out at this point for Leenock. And as a result, you know, he's got the barracks out as well. So worst case scenario, if he's got to make more spearmen, he's going to be A-okay. Scout does come through, does spot that stable out. So he knows he's got the triple production. So he could be looking to go into, you know, men-at-arms, crossbows, and lancers. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that, but we'll take a look and spot exactly what he's got. It's going to be nothing for the moment. He's just chilling out. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a market or a monastery drop down. Market going to be the first one. He's going to be looking to buy some wood here, drop down a monastery, maybe even drop it down on the Uvu. Looks to get himself out some double shaman production. We'll watch and wait and see. Over on Leenock's base, though, everything going fine and dandy. He's thinking about a castle age. And this is a style of Chinese we're really starting to see a lot more of. So it's just going to be the single town center Song Dynasty play for China. And a big part of that is because of this Imperial Academy. The fact that you don't have to idle your town center anymore, it basically means that you're able to go Song Dynasty super early. You can get that 5-minute Song Dynasty up and active. And then you can also use your Imperial Academy to make those Imperial officials instead of using your town center. And so it means that you're able to, you know, keep a constant uptime of villager production, which means that you don't have to think about a second town center because you're getting an extra 5.5 villagers. You're able to leverage those. Scout spotting out the Manga guys. They try and move around the backside. There's walls up, so it ain't going to be happening. Age up coming through now. It's going to be the astronomical clock tower drop down in this position. Now remember, in the event that a push does come to shove, Lee not going to be able to get through the sprinkled emplacement on his Barbican. I'll be looking out for that and seeing whether he goes for it. Now, already I've seen some concerning behavior from Leenock, but I'll be honest, it kind of makes sense in this matchup to go for that early second Imperial official, even though you're going to be behind a villager for the rest of the game. It just makes sense because you're able to buff up that barracks completely. You saw he had the Imperial official on the mill full time, and he also had the Imperial official going between the lumber camp as well as the barracks. Makes a lot of sense. 12-minute age up time for Leenock. +1 ranged attack going to be coming through for him. So interesting that he goes into that. He's actually going into Chokunu. Look at this, going straight into veteran Chokunu. +1 ranged attack coming through. So a very decent counter to the Manga, but the question is whether he continues that. Men-at-arms going to be under attack. Still up towards the north, we see double knights or double lancers looking to try and find an opening. Obviously, we know that the walls are up for Leenock, so there's no way that Puppy Paw is going to find an opening. Double shaman coming out, so indeed we do see that prayer tent is down. Blacksmith also coming down on the Uvu. To me, indicates the fact that he's probably thinking about going improved siege engineering. Might not be the first thing he researches, but it definitely is on the cards here. Otherwise, you know, what other reason does he have? He'd be putting it back here. That, you know, it's a crowded house when it comes up to this position. He definitely doesn't have the space to throw down just random buildings there unless there is an intention. Shaman moving up towards the north. It's looking for those relics. We obviously know exactly where they are first and second one over this side. He continues moving up towards this position. Outpost going to be under attack. A trebuchet out immediately for Leenock. He's looking to clear this out. He says, get out of my town. This is my town. You ain't welcome here. We see the veterancy now coming through for the Chukunu. Crossbowman also going to be coming out. No +2 attack just yet, but veteran spearman also coming through for Leenock. We'll check. I want to see exactly how many units he's got. 8 spearmen, 2 Chukunu, and 1 crossbow, and of course, just that single trebuchet. We'll do a villager stock take for Leenock. It's 53 villagers at the moment with 4 Imperial officials. Actually, hold on a minute. Am I? Oh my lord, I've been counting that wrong. It's 54 economic units. That includes the Imperial officials. You can see right here, he's got 50 villagers and 4 Imperial officials. Compare that over to his opponent who's on 45 villagers right now. So you can see that there's a bit of an economic difference there. The fact that he's got an extra, what, 5 villagers on top of it. And then he's also got the 4 Imperial officials on top of that. And when you consider that these guys, you know, you've got one here that's supervising this, one here that's supervising this. Look at the villagers that are on here. You know, you can basically 20% all of that, 20% all that, 20% all that. Like, it is a huge boost to the economy here. New China looking good. And I'm starting to feel like I might have been wrong about China. You know, I talked about China a lot. I said that I didn't like the new buffs. I didn't like the direction that they were going, but I got to be honest with you. They solved a lot of problems for China. So perhaps, you know, perhaps that's something that I got to talk about. Perhaps that's something that we got to front up on, because the new China, I mean, it's looking good. Leenock coming out, forcing into this central position. He's going to force these units back. A lot of lances coming out for David Kim, aka Puppy Paw. He's got 7 of them, and he's still making more. And there's so many spears already out for Leenock. He's sitting on 10 spears, and obviously he's going to have more in queue, more Chokunu coming in as well. I'm loving this opening here from Leenock. Honestly, it's beautiful. Just this trash army of spears and Chokunu, just a few crossbows mixed in as as well, just to sort of help out. Charge comes off, not going to be successful. We do see those relics are getting picked up, though. Prayer Tent sitting back here. He's actually got double prayer tents out for, just remember the most recent change. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, Lee Nock. He's coming forward with outposts. You know, who needs forward keeps? We got forward outposts. That's what Lee Nock says. Trebuchet slowly but steadily moving forward. He's beginning to build that trench. But yeah, just remember that when it comes to your prayer tents, when it comes to your monasteries, all of those things, you can only fit 3 relics in them. So if you're thinking about 4 or even 5 relics, then you better be thinking about at least 2 prayer tents, aka monasteries. Lee Nock looking to hold on. Spearman on the front side. A lot of men-at-arms on the back, but they're yet to really engage. That nest of bees goes completely evaporated. Chokunu on the backside do have that +2 ranged armor, or range attack rather. Absolutely no armor on these men-at-arms. They are going to begin to shred, but Lee Nock going to be in a bit of trouble. Nice little cleanup coming through at the moment, but more reinforcements looking to come down, supporting this trebuchet. Springald also moving forward into the berries. Fuck, my camera is just keep on fucking up. Thank you so much, Relic. I love it when my camera does that. I don't know why it does that, but it's fucking annoying. Whew, I get myself so worked up when that shit happens. Damn, I don't know if you guys saw that, but go back and rewind and watch what happens. I'm trying to use just this gentle scroll, and it picks up my camera and it drops it over here. And it's like, oh, you wanted to be over here. It's like, no! What are you doing with me? Plenty of units going down, though. There, it just happened again. Anyway, I'll try my best not to focus on it and focus on the game in front of us, because Lee Nock is looking to take this game by storm. And remember, behind this, his economy is popping off. Lee Nock sitting on 57 or 61 economic units compared to the 53 of Puppy Paw. So pulling ahead, and remember, those economic units are big. At this point in time, the Chukunu just absolutely cleaning house. I think the big factor here is that Puppy Paw has failed to get +1 armor. Oh, Step Red out. Oh, Step Red out, not going down. Long distance mining coming through here. Outpost is going to go down with that. The bounty going over, but you can see that there's the only gold that he's got access to is down here. It's a long way away. And now the Step Red out just going to be still sitting there. Villagers heading back to the go. Puppy Paw going to be sitting here with his hand, or his head in his hands. Jeez, I couldn't get that one out. Step Red out finally going to be going down. Lee Nock looking good in this central location. But I definitely think this is a big oversight coming out from Puppy Paw here. If you're playing up against Chokunu, the number one thing that you need is this iron undermesh. You need to get that extra armor, because every single attack that the Chokunu does, it's firing 3 bolts. So think about it firing 3 attacks at once. So you see it does 7 repeater crossbows. It does 3 burst attacks. So that means that it's doing 7 damage for each attack that it's got versus that 4 armor. So it's doing a total of 9 damage, because 7 minus 4, that's 3, and 3 times 3 for the attacks, that's 9. And that means that with 9 damage, you could reduce that from 9 damage to 6 damage with +1, or 3 damage with +2. So it's imperative you get those ranged armor upgrades. They just really help you out a lot in this matchup against China. But now Lee Nock looking to add in more production buildings. He's got double archery range, double barracks, double stable, and it's going to be lances that he looks to head into. So not going to be going towards fire lances, at least not yet. We'll see if he heads into Yuan Dynasty. He's got a lot of idle villages up towards the north, and I love the way that he's playing this. So one of the things that he's doing, he's moving around a lot of his villages with the Imperial officials. So he takes, 20, 25 villages, and he says, let's all go here, and I'm going to supervise you guys. That's, it's super smart play. You can see he's doing it right here as well. He's got 19 villages with the Imperial official. Keep going up in the middle. Only a single Springald out. He's going to have to force this position. If he loses this, it could be tough, because the gold mine's here as well as the berries. And now we begin to unfold all of these units. It looks like this keep is going to be getting up. I don't know exactly how many villagers are behind there. It looks like 7, but the spearmen on the front line are going to be able to hold. And look at the shamans just firing off their best, looking to try and take it out. Do they have you there? They've got the enhanced healing, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. You can see they're just healing each other. 7 shamans up right now, but getting taken out completely by the keep, just absolutely dumpstering on them. And with the keep coming up, Puppy Paw taps out. Lee Nock victorious, and China looking very strong in this new patch. I'm starting to get excited, because I tell you what, I was worried that China was going to be put down in the dumpster, but it seems like the developers may have been right in their decisions to change and redesign this Civ. Fellas, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.